Also, welcome from us. We want to share our relaunch and what's in for you. And I'm gonna share my screen. So here we are. So just a few coordinates who we are, and we are here from the Bavarian State Library for the from Munich. It's a pretty old institution, founded 1558 at some noble court. And we're a universal library with a lot of different media, and the oldest is actually going back to 2034 before Christ. And it's currently more than 2.7 million digitized objects online. And 97% of it, that's most important, that's already IIIF, and both is growing, more objects and also the IIIF ratio. And who are we? My name is Markus Bitzl. I'm responsible for the data automation and IIIF services at the Bavarian State Library, and my coworker Matthias will introduce himself.
Yes, thank you, Markus. My name is Matthias Lindinger, also from the Bavarian State Library in Munich. And yes, as you can see, I'm responsible for content services like the CMS and also metadata services, and also work in the ground of Mirador and some of our plugins.
Thank you. And if you have any questions after this talk or after the conference, please feel free to contact us via email or from you also by Twitter. We are always happy to help with your questions. And so, since you're in this talk, you probably know that we did a big relaunch. That's actually 10 years since we redid our digital collection site, maybe even a little more. So at the beginning, we were thinking, what are our goals? What do we want to get out of it? And well, first thing was pretty clear. We wanted like rich access to all copyright-free digitized objects, like everything we could bring out in the world, we want to bring out in the world. Not everything is out there yet, but most is, with a lot of rich metadata, with full text OCR data wherever we have it and can share it. And also we wanted to have like collections, content collections, to replace some legacy applications over time. There are a lot of old applications we wanted to just integrate over time in the new homepage. And at some point, we'll probably also make these available as IIIF collections. They're not yet, but probably we will. Also, of course, IIIF wherever possible. That's the one standard everything's built around. And there are a few objects that for technical or legal reasons not yet possible to be IIIF available. Those will be presented outside, but most are. And of course, if we have a lot of data, we want everybody to find what they're looking for. So we wanted a comfortable search interface for the metadata, full text data, wanted facets to filter and drill down. And yeah, so that's where we started. And we had the one big challenge. It's the first time we really had the whole width and depth of our collections, of our data we want to present to the world, like everything. So we needed to transition from a more manufacturing-like process where we had small subsets of data, or maybe also larger subsets of data for a special project, like our newspaper portal or our East Asia portal, to like one more industrial process that can just process all the data with the least human interaction possible. Of course, there is always need because there will always be problems and errors, but most of the time data should just be processed. We press a button, things run. Turns out it's not that easy to do. It's also some people have a hard time to get adjusted to that new mindset. And yeah, another big question was what are actually the best metadata fields? Took us quite some time to figure out what we want to present, what can we present for a lot of our data, and finally, most important, how should it look? What would the best look be to access our data, to be accessible also for people with visual or impairments, and also best representing us, and also how does the best user experience work? And starting with this question.
May I interrupt you for a second?
Yes,
I'm
please.
seeing some black boxes on your screen.
Black boxes screen.
I don't know if anybody else has the problem.
Still black boxes?
No, yeah, now it's fine.
Okay, I moved the Zoom windows out of the screen to the other screen. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, so starting with that, let's dive in a live demo. If you have questions, feel free to ask. We're happy to share. And with the live demo, we're also diving into what we have in for you. So first thing, simple thing, but finally it's there. We have one top-level collection for all our data. So if you ever want to get everything we have, you can start easily. So it's a lot. So we use pagination with a cursor, and yeah, that's basically all to say about it. So, but yeah, we're starting with search. We wanted to have a nice and rich access to the data. So let's dive into, are we searching for Zugspitze? And search goes right into the metadata, like the title, but also the full text snippets. You can have some nice filters here, which we don't need to explore. And also all the metadata, most of the metadata is also in the manifest, not all of it yet, but most is. And down here, also links to the metadata in machine readable format, and of course the IIIF manifest to take to whatever application you want to take it to. For some objects, we also have a cross-linking section, like for newspaper issues to other issues. And most important here for you, these full text snippets are generated using a Solar plugin that is fully open source. And what this plugin does is it takes an OCR file for the indexing. You specify the Solar request, can be ALTO or HOCR, just stores the necessary metadata for highlighting in the index, but leaves the full text data, the OCR file, out of the Solar index on your hard drive. That keeps the index small and fast, and the OCR is only then accessed when it's needed for the snippets to retrieve text snippets. Snippets itself are rendered with the with IIIF, of course. We have links to our GitHub and the plugins in the presentation. So you can see for all objects that have full text data, some don't, there are these nice snippets showing up. And if we just go into one of these objects, maybe this, you see the next nice thing. We all added IIIF Content Search. And also with the highlights we do with IIIF, of course. Viewer is a Mirador viewer, for which we also created some plugins, and one of these plugins you can see right here. And that one is really amazing. I'm a huge fan, and I'll show you what we can do. Here we have the image data. Usually in a viewer, you have the image data. Now, what we first can do is just mark the text to copy and paste. That's already great. That takes accessibility to the next level, because now we could use a screen reader on the Mirador. If you have seen the lightning talks yesterday, my coworker Johannes Beiter showed how that works. And also, if you're not familiar with the language, maybe German is not a language you speak, you can copy and paste it right in a translation service, Google Translate, for example. Or maybe it's just an old script you have trouble reading. I have some of the old scripts, so what I can do is just put the real text on top of the image. And you probably noticed that the letters have different sizes. Some are bigger, some are smaller. That's because the text is rendered so that the readable text is right on the image where the text would be, the word would be. And you can easily slide from one view into another. So if you try to figure out what a hardly readable word is spelling, you just can move back and forth. And sometimes also quite useful, you can select the background color or the text color, which for some reason doesn't do anything. That's the live demo. Oh, that's me using the color picker wrong in the live demo. So if you now blend, you have a better contrast. So that's I'm really happy. All you need to do so is to have the OCR data for this canvas linked in the manifest, as I can show you here. So here are the canvases, and here is a seeAlso, and here is the OCR data. Something just happened. So canvas, here's the image data, and here is the seeAlso data with the OCR. And if we open that, here is the HOCR in this case. I think yes, so HOCR and probably also Alto is working for the plugin. That's all you need, this and the Mirador plugin, and you're ready to go. So, and that's just in time for questions. I'm just one thing before no, we have all the links in the presentation. We can share the presentation with you if you like. We also can share the links in Wofa if that's better. Just please tell us what's best.
Thank you both. Yeah, I think adding the links in the Whova chat would be great. I think there are some folks there who would take a look right away. So that's a great place to do it. I have added one question to the Q&A, and maybe others will add some while I'm asking, but we have a few minutes. I recognize that this question may be beyond the scope of what you've thought about, so no worries if the answer is we haven't thought about it, but I'm just curious if you've taken a look at or discussed the change discovery API that is kind of recently in the works. Just thinking about the incredible scale of the collection level IIIF collection that you published, it might be interesting to look at that as a component or as a piece to go hand in hand with the collection level pieces you published.
Yes, it would. Of course, it would be great to also have the discovery API, but at the moment there are, I think, no plans about that feature.
Yeah, there are no specific plans. We probably will at some point in the future, but we don't have it on our roadmap yet.
Fair enough.
Definitely great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm seeing if there are other questions.
There's a question for you, Matthias. Can you explain Kudami? Is it used for web also?
Excuse me, I don't see this question.
It's in the Wofa. Would you like to explain what Kudami is, or should I?
Yes, I can try. That is also a product that I'm responsible for. It's for the content services that were written on my introduction. It's kind of a mix of a system for managing digitized objects, collections of these, but also has functions that you might know from CMS. The first thing we used this system for were for the imprint and privacy pages that were necessary some years ago in Germany.
So, I think you can summarize it as like a content management system and a media asset management system. It's also open source. You can check out our GitHub, and also can share a link for that in the Whova chat.
Yes, and we're always happy to get some feedback for this application.
Yeah, I see some great comments in the chat, and maybe we have time for one last question that I see somebody put in there, just asking about whether you have any experience with Lunar.js instead of Solar as a search engine for IIIF.
I remember that we did look at it, but for the size of our full text data, was pretty soon clear that wouldn't work. But I think other people do use that, not really experience. Sorry.
No, that's great to hear. That does bring us kind of up to the end of the session here. There are a couple more comments. Maybe, yeah, if you have a chance to take a look in the chat and add any more links or respond there. But with that, I am going to give my thanks again to Marcus and Matthias for the presentation. The amazing work that BSB has done, just really impressive in scale and beautiful interface and everything. And thanks all for joining us. Yeah, and we'll see you at future IIIF sessions. Thanks, folks.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
See you.
we say thank you. Thanks for the attention.
All right. Take care, all.
Take care.
care.
Bye.
Bye.